Next one is capacitance. Okay, capacitance is directly related with capacity. Say for example, உங்களுக்கு சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும்னா இப்போ நான் ஏதோ ஒன்று நடத்துறேன். ஓகே, நான் நடத்தின எல்லாத்தையுமே வந்து உங்களுக்கு புரியுன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. ஒரு சிலவங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருக்கலாம், ஒரு சிலவங்க பாதி புரிஞ்சிருக்கலாம், ஒரு சிலவங்களுக்கு அதை விட கம்மியா ஒண்ணுமே புரியாம கூட போயிருக்கலாம். ஓகே, ஸோ அப்போ நான் எவ்வளோ நடத்துறேன், எவ்வளோ உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சுது. Okay, that ratio is called capacity. That is your capacity. Okay, how much you understood will come in the numerator. How much I have taught, that will come in the denominator. Okay, I taught something, finally you understood something. How much you understood to the how much I have taught. Okay, that is the capacity. Okay, similarly in case of capacitor, if you are having capacitor, that will be connected with the voltage source. Okay, then from the voltage source some current will be flowing. Okay, slowly the charge is getting filled up. Okay, build up in the capacitor. See what is happening in the process of capacitor. Now the capacitor is having plates like this. Okay, now you have some voltage. The voltage could be anything, 1 volt, 2 volt, or anything. Say for example, if it is 1 volt. Now if I connect this, okay, this experiment and all I think we have done in the simulation part, but there were some little bit mistake in the midway we have drawn out due to the power problem. Okay, so if you are having capacitor plate, okay, now this plate I have connected with the positive terminal, this plate I have connected with the negative terminal, then finally it is going to induce some charge on the plate because some current is going to flow, some current. Finally, that will induce positive charge on the upper plate, negative charge on the lower plate. Now the question is, how much charge is built up on the plate? Okay, I have applied 1 voltage. How much charge got built up in the plate? Say for example, I can apply 2 volt also. I can apply 3 volt also. So one thing is very clear. If everything else is constant, okay, if I increase voltage, source voltage, then definitely the charge also will increase. If I increase the voltage, definitely the charge also will increase. If I decrease the voltage, then charge also will decrease. Then how to define the capacity of the capacitance? Okay, like voltage is like the source. Okay, it's like what I am teaching. Okay, the charge on the plate is like how much you understood. Charge on the plate is like how much you understood. So the capacity is defined by how much charge is induced per applied voltage. How much charge is induced per applied voltage? C is equal to Q by V. That is the definition of the capacitance. Okay, that is the ability to store the charge of the capacitor. That is mathematically the relation is Q divided by V. Okay, simply this is mathematics, but you have to understand the real idea. Okay, per volt, how much charge is built up? Okay, because the charge can be increased by increasing the voltage. That is not the idea. With the minimum voltage, I have to store more energy. Okay, with the less voltage, if I want to store, if you want to build up more energy, then my capacitance has to be very, very high. My capacitor value has to be very, very high. Now the capacity is related with Q by V, but capacitance value really depends on something else. How much the capacitance capacity really depends on epsilon A by D, the dimensions of the capacitor. Okay, epsilon means permittivity of the medium, A means cross-sectional area of the plate, D means distance between the plate. Okay, see the capacitance value depends on, okay, value depends on what? Physical dimensions. Depends on physical dimensions. Once if you fix the physical dimensions like area and distance and the medium of the permittivity medium, if you fix everything, then your capacitance is fixed. Your capacitance is fixed. Then what will happen? You are fixing your capacitance. Now your capacitance is constant. If you fix all this quantity, your capacitance will become constant. Now I can easily tell if you are having some capacitance, fixed capacitance. Okay, if you apply some voltage, then how much charge will be developed? Okay, because C is constant now. Okay, that means what? The charge developed on the capacitor is always proportional to the voltage applied. If you apply more voltage, more charge can be developed. Okay, precisely I can find out how much charge, then only if you know the C value. Okay, because if you fix the dimensions and distance, then C is constant, then I can tell precisely how much charge will be developed on the capacitor plate once if you apply the voltage V. Okay, this is the definitions for the capacitance. Okay, now I'll write some points. Okay, so what capacitor is doing, capacitor converts the voltage into charges. Okay, that idea you should have. Capacitor converts the voltage you are applying the voltage, that is it is stored as a charge in the capacitor. Next, capacitor stores charge in which format? In actually in electric field format. Stored charge, again I will give that point later. And then capacitor value depends on its ability to store the charge. Its ability to store the charge. Okay, it store the charge. Okay, that ability determined by what? Physical dimensions. Ability determined. Okay, more the plate area, more charge can be stored. Lesser the distance between the plate, again more charge can be stored. Or more the permittivity value, then again more charge can be stored. That is the ability. Ability is determined by the physical dimension. Okay, now again C is equal to, C depends on physical dimension. Okay, already I have written that. Okay, C depends on only physical dimension. Next, C is equal to epsilon A by D. Okay, it depends on physical dimension. So if you want to increase C, okay, you can either increase by increasing epsilon you can increase, okay, or A you can increase, or D you can decrease. Okay, by doing all this you can increase the capacitance. Okay, at a time you can do one, or at a time you can do all also. Okay, so in general Q is equal to CV at constant C. Then again once if you increase V, then Q also will increase once, because if C is constant, then if you apply more voltage, then more charge will be developed. That's why the capacitance value is equal to C is equal to Q divided by V. Capacitance means charge induced per unit voltage. Okay, that what is this definition? Charge induced per unit voltage. That is the definition of the capacitance. Charge induced per unit voltage. Then what is the energy stored in the capacitor? Okay, what is the energy stored in the capacitor? Okay, you know capacitor store the energy in electric field format. It stores the energy in E field format. Okay, it stores the energy in E field. Similarly, the inductor stores the energy in terms of magnetic field. Capacitor stores the energy in terms of electric field. So what is how much energy is stored? See, what is the meaning? See, some charge is there. Finally, some charge is there on the capacitor. With the charge, what you can do? That is the energy of the capacitor. That is the energy. Okay, you have stored some charge on the capacitor. With the charge, what you can do? Because from the charge, you can get the current later point of time. Okay, that current will do some other job. Okay, it may provide voltage or current. Finally, you will get some power or some energy. That is the energy stored in the capacitor. What is the maximum energy stored in the capacitor? W is equal to 1 by 2 C. Again, sometimes they'll write this V in terms of small v, because when you have a capacitance, say you are charging, you are doing the charging at t is equal to 0. Okay, you are applying the voltage, but instantaneously there will not be voltage on the capacitor. Slowly the voltage will be developed. At t is equal to 0, voltage will be there. At t is equal to 0.1 second, 0.1 volt will come. Later on, after t is equal to, say, if you are putting charging for 2 times, then it may attain its rated voltage. Okay, see, this is your capacitor. You have connected to the battery. The battery is of 5 volt. Okay, you want to charge this capacitor with the 5 volt. Suddenly you will not get 5 volts, sir, because if you are getting 5 volt, namala phone charge podave thevilla. There is no need of putting charge for the phone for a long duration. Okay, the phone is somewhat similar to capacitor. The phone battery is somewhat similar to capacitor. Okay, slowly the voltage will be built up. Okay, because what is constant? Capacitance is constant. Okay, once again slowly the charge is built up. Okay, if charge increases, voltage increases. If charge increases, voltage increases. Again, it's like a parallel process. Okay, charge also slowly. Now the charge is 0. Again, charge is something. Again, finally, the charge maximum charge is reached. Okay, so slowly the charge also will increase, and slowly the voltage of the capacitor. See how much voltage you are applying, that is different. That is source voltage. What is the voltage on the capacitor, that we are interested? Okay, at after some time only you will get the rated voltage. Okay, so that means what? The capacitor voltage itself is a function of time. Okay, that means if I measure the energy in midway, then I will have some energy only, half of the energy. If I measure the energy at the end, then I am having more voltage, then I will have more energy finally. That's why sometimes they used to mention 1/2 C, CV small v square. Okay, then it depends on what is the voltage at that time. Okay, what is the voltage at that time? Okay, ஏன்னா ஒரு பேட்டரியில வந்து நீங்க பாதியிலே எடுத்துட்டு சார்ஜ் போடுறீங்க, 2 hour இருந்தா தான் ஃபுல்லா சார்ஜ் ஆகும். 1 hourல எடுத்துட்டு அது ஃபுல் எனர்ஜி தராது. கண்டிப்பா 1 hourல எடுத்தா அது என்ன தராது? ஃபுல் எனர்ஜி தராது. அப்ப என்ன வோல்டேஜ் இருக்குதோ அதுக்கு தகுந்த எனர்ஜியை தான் அது என்ன பண்ணும்? தரும். அதுதான் வந்து இதனுடைய கான்செப்ட். ஓகே, W is equal to 1/2 CV square. Okay, that's why again without confusion I will put 1/2 CV square, but please understand this V is function of time. This V is function of time. Okay, then how can I write this one? 1/2 C into CV. Okay, you know that 1/2 C into Q, and again please note down Q is function of time. Initially your Q is 0, slowly the Q is getting build up, then finally you will get the maximum Q. Okay, whatever we are writing here, if we are writing in capital letter, then that is like a maximum Q. Okay, 1/2 CQ, then unit is joule. Okay, the energy unit is joule. That is the idea. Okay, next we will go to the inductance. Inductance. You know, the inductance is something similar to solenoidal. Okay, it will have some number of turns and then length L, and this is number of turns N. Okay, this is like a cross sectional area. Okay, this is cross sectional area. A means cross sectional area of the coil. Okay, cross sectional area of the coil. Now N means total number of turns. L, length of inductor. A, cross section of the coil. Okay, now say for example, again the wounding could be in any direction. Okay, suppose if I have the wounding in this direction, wounding goes like this. Okay, now I pass some current here. The current goes like this. Once the current is going like this, please try to apply the right hand rule. Finally, in which direction the magnetic field will be? What would be the direction of magnetic field? Okay, you can use your right hand rule. Okay, now the current goes like this. Okay, it comes like this. Okay, what would be the direction of yes sir, direction of magnetic field? Anybody? In which direction the magnetic field will be? Towards left or right? Towards left or right? Right hand rule, sir. Right hand rule, okay sir. Towards left or right finally? Anyway, that magnetic field will be around the coil like this. It is towards left or right? That is the question.
Left, sir.
Right, sir. Yeah, it's coming as left. Okay, it will be, the magnetic field will be like this. Okay, once if you apply your, okay, so don't put I here, then that will make some confusion. You have to put I in the rings only. Okay, so but you should know how in which direction it goes. That's why I put here. Okay, so once if you apply the right hand rule, then the magnetic field will be in this direction. Okay, so what here, if you are having coil, what is the coil nature? If you apply the current, then that will produce the flux, sir. If you apply the current to the coil will produce the flux. Now I will not talk about the voltage. Okay, I will talk about the current, because for coil current is needed. If current is there, then that will produce the, if current flows through the coil, then that will produce the flux, because it will not worry about the voltage. It will see only the current. Okay, if more current, that will produce more flux. Okay, if what I am telling, if everything else is constant, say Again, this coil will be having some inductance. L is constant. If I increase the current, then definitely my flux will increase. If I increase the current, then definitely my flux will increase. So this is current is like a source. Okay, flux is like a cause. So what is the ratio of cause to the source? Okay, this is like current is like an input, flux is like an output. Okay, so what is this ratio? So that ratio I can take flux divided by current. Okay, so if I increase the current, I can get more flux. That is not the idea. Then with the less current, how can I get the more flux? Okay, so that is L. L is equal to what? Pi by I. Flux produced per unit current is called inductance. Okay, if you have an inductor, you apply some current. The current could be anything, 2 ampere, 3 ampere. That's okay. Finally, that will produce some flux. Okay, around the coil. So how much flux produced per unit current? How much flux produced per unit current? That is L is equal to pi by I. L is equal to pi by I. So what is the definition? Flux produced per unit current. That is flux produced per unit current. Flux produced per unit current. That is the definition of inductance. That is the definition of inductance. If you are able to produce more flux with the less current, then that means what? Your inductance value of the inductor is very, very high. Okay, so what I am telling, L is equal to pi by I. With the less current, if you are able to produce more flux, then what is the meaning? Your inductance value is very, very high. That is possible only if you have very high inductance value. If you have very high inductance value, with the less current, you can produce more flux. Okay, that is the idea. Okay, see, if inductance value is high, with the less current, we can produce sorry, with the less current, the inductor will produce. We cannot produce. The inductor will produce with the less current. If the inductance value is high, with the less current, it will produce more flux. Okay, it will produce more flux. Then how to, again, you know one thing, this is mathematics. Finally, L depends on what? Finally, L depends on physical dimensions of the inductor. Okay, physical dimensions of the inductor, because we are using the statement if inductance is high. Okay, see, with the current and flux, you cannot control the L. L is controlled by something else. That is physical dimensions of inductor. Then the question arises, how to get more inductance value, very high inductance value. Okay, see, we are starting with the statement if. Okay, if statement. So physical dimensions of the inductor. Okay, then L is decided by the physical dimension. What is that relation? L is equal to mu naught permittivity of the medium N square. Okay, number of coil square into A cross section area of the coil, then L. Okay, then L. Okay, so once if I increase the turns, number of turns, then also inductance increases. You know, once if you increase the number of turns, inductance will increase. If the inductance increases, flux will increase, even though the current is constant. If you increase the number of turns, okay, L will increase. If L increases, flux will increase. Okay, that I think we have seen even in the simulation also. Okay, then what happens? Even if you increase the area of the coil, then also your inductance will increase. Then again your flux will increase. Okay, then but if you increase your length of the inductor, okay, by keeping everything else is constant, if you increase the length of the inductor, then your inductance value will decrease. Intuitively, this is somewhat true, because when everything else is constant, if length is small, okay, if L is small, okay, your inductor will be like a more concentric. It's on the same place. If your length is large, okay, if number of turns is same, then it goes like this. Okay, so what is happening? Once if you increase the length by keeping everything else is constant, then it is becoming like a simple wire. If it is a simple wire, it is not having a proper turns. If there is no proper turns, then it is not having the coil property. Coil means there should be the rotational nature. Okay, so once if we keep on increasing length by keeping everything else is constant, then the inductance loses its property. The inductance value will decrease. Inductance value will decrease. Finally, if you stretch it as a wire, then it is like a conductor. It is not a inductor. Okay, it is like a conductor. That is the idea. Okay, so then how much energy is stored in the inductor? Okay, so now you got some idea how the inductance value of the inductor depends on the physical dimensions. Okay, physical parameter like number of turns, cross section, and L. What happens if we increase A or L or N? Okay, in the exam they'll ask this, sir, if number of turns is doubled, the inductance will be increased by 4 times. Like this question they will ask. That's why very precisely you have to remember this formula. Okay, most of you know the capacitor formula, but you have to remember this also. You'll get question from this also. Very important. Inductor physical dimensions relation you should know, because you are using always L depends on something, that is this one. Okay, then how much energy is stored in the inductor? How much energy stored in the inductor? Energy stored in inductor. Okay, then in which format the energy is stored in the inductor? In terms of magnetic field, energy stored in magnetic field format. Energy stored in H field format. Whereas in capacitor it is electric field format. In case of inductor this is magnetic field format. Then how much energy is stored? Okay, that is 1/2 L I square. Why I am writing I as a small value? Because when you have an inductor, you can apply the any voltage, sir. To the inductor you can apply the any voltage, but initially at t is equal to 0, the current will be 0. You can apply any voltage. For the inductor, you can apply any voltage, but initially the current will be 0. Once if it increases, the current will increase. Once if you increase the time, then current will increase. Okay, finally only see what is happening. You are applying some voltage, but the current through the inductor depends on the time. Okay, so finally only at steady state, after some time at steady state, only you will get I is equal to I max. Okay, again you know steady state means you no need to have a infinite time. After 5 time constant you will reach the steady state. Okay, so I is equal to I max. That's why at any point of time how much energy is there in the inductor depends on how much current is there. Okay, because initially okay, at the beginning at t is equal to 0, the current across the inductor is 0. You are not at all having the energy. After some time the current is gradually increasing. Finally that will become maximum. How much current, what is the maximum current across the inductor will be decided by the other circuit, that we will see in detail in the separate topic is there. I don't know. I'm not getting that name of the topic. Transients analysis. Okay, that we'll analyze very precisely in the transient analysis. How it is decided by the other part of the circuit. Okay, some maximum current will come. That time only it will store the maximum energy. Okay, again that energy you can use it for any other purpose. Later you can disconnect this battery, then you can connect this inductor with any other resistance. Then energy will be transferred from this inductor to the resistance. Okay, that's how the energy stored in the inductor is used. But mostly will not use the inductors to store the energy, because why I will tell you later. But at this time the energy in the inductor depends on the current. Energy in the inductor depends on the current. Similarly, whereas in case of capacitor, energy in the capacitor depends on the voltage at that time. Okay, so but if it is maximum after some time, then we can write it as 1/2 Li square. Okay, then 1/2 L Li, 1/2 Li, then 1/2 Li could be written as what, sir? Anybody? Li க்கு பதிலா என்ன எழுதலாம்?
Q, sir.
Not Q, sir. அது electric field தான் Q வரும். இங்க Li க்கு பதிலா Li க்கு பதிலா pi எழுதலாம். Li is equal to pi.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so you can write it as 1/2 L pi. Okay, this is the energy stored in the inductor. Again, you know the unit of L, unit of pi, you know the unit of energy. இதெல்லாம் match ஆகுதானு finally just check it out. Finally, the unit has to be joules. Now the question arises, why we are not using inductor to store the energy? Okay, in general, why inductor not used? Why why not inductor used to store the energy, why not inductor used to store the energy? Okay, why inductor is not used to store the energy? Okay, because the main problem is in case of inductor, okay, you know, again from this it is very clear, you want to increase the L. Okay, if you want to increase the energy storage, you want to increase the L, but L depends on what? L depends on mu n square A divided by L, mu n square A divided by L. Okay, so again, if you want to store the energy, if you want to increase L, again you have to increase either number of turns or otherwise what? Number of cross sectional area. So what they are telling, compared to capacitor, to store a particular energy, compared to capacitor, inductor is taking more space. Because inductor dimension is really different as compared to the capacitor. So to store the energy, to store a particular energy, inductor is taking more physical dimension. That's why practically inductor is not used to store the energy. Okay, inductor becomes bulky. Okay, inductor becomes bulky. Okay, as compared to capacitor. That's why inductor we are not using. Mostly we are using the capacitor. Okay. Next, what is the voltage and current relationship in case of resistance, inductor and capacitance? Okay, V comma I relation. Okay, first one is the parameter relation, again VI relation, again what is the energy? Okay, say first I take the resistance. Okay, resistance can also be written as conductance, G is equal to 1 by R. Okay, that means V is equal to IR, I can write always, or otherwise V is equal to IR, or otherwise I is equal to G into V also I can write, because G is equal to 1 by R. So I is equal to 1 by R into V. 1 by R means GV. Then what is the energy dissipated by the resistance? Okay, whenever there is a current flow, okay, whenever you apply the voltage, there will be the current flow in the resistance. Then finally it dissipates some energy, okay, in terms of heat. Then what is the energy? The power depends on what is the voltage and current, VI. If you want the energy, how much time you have, okay, you have applied your current and voltage. Okay, suppose minus infinity to t. Okay, it has started some time before, but now up to the time t. Okay, if you know exact time, you can put the exact time. Okay, in general, we used to write like this: minus infinity to t VI dt. This is the energy dissipated by the resistance. Suppose if you have inductor L, okay, the basic relation is pi is equal to Li, because you are expecting this kind of relation, then that is something similar to this one. So instead of voltage, you can put flux. Okay, you can put flux instead of resistance. You can put inductor. Okay, instead of current, you can put again current. Current is same. So instead of voltage, you can put flux here. Okay, some analogy they will ask. Sometime in the exam they will ask, what is the analogy? Okay, voltage. Okay, voltage in general, voltage is becoming like a flux here. Okay, so that's we'll see. Next, pi is equal to Li, then V is equal to L di by dt, or otherwise I is equal to 1 by L integration minus infinity to t V dt. Again, this one is 1 by 2 Li square. The next one is C. C means Q is equal to CV. Again, here I is equal to C dV divided by dt, and then V is equal to 1 by C integration I dt. The limit goes from minus infinity to t. Again, here whether they mention or not, if the current is like a current through inductor, the voltage is like a voltage across the inductor. Similarly, this is the voltage across inductor, current through the inductor. Similarly, here in case of capacitor, whether they mention or not, this is current through the capacitor, this is the voltage across the capacitor. Similarly, here also voltage across the capacitor, here also current through the capacitor. Okay, see here through the inductor, Whether they mention or not, this is always implied. This is always implied, that you should know. Then what is the energy 1 by 2 CV square? What is the energy 1 by 2 CV square? The formula உங்களுக்கு ஏற்கனவே தெரியும். Now I will take, in future I will take some time to clarify this. Why this formula is like this? Why not in the other way? What is really happening? Okay, in this formula, I will explain. Now we'll look into the inductor once again. Okay, because now we will try to study about this formula. First I take inductor. Okay, only around 10 minutes is there. Now I'll try. Okay, I'll start with the basics, then remaining things we'll see done tomorrow. Okay, in case of inductor, at any point of time, the voltage across the inductor is equal to IL divided by dt. Okay, the voltage across the inductor depends on particularly the current through the inductor. V is equal to L DIL divided by dt. DIL divided by dt. Similarly, the current through the inductor depends on 1 by L integration VL dt. Okay, now I am having an inductor. Okay, now the current is flowing. Some voltage I have applied. Some voltage, again, some resistance will be there in series. That's okay. Okay, so finally, what is the voltage across the inductor? What is the current through the inductor? That is decided by this formula. Now the question arises, which one is applied first? Okay, whether you are applying the current first or whether you are applying the voltage first. That is my question. Okay, as per from your understanding, you can tell. Now I will ask you question. If I have an inductor, can I give directly 2 amperes to the inductor? Okay, previously the inductor is having 0 ampere current. It is open circuit. Suddenly I am connecting to the 2 ampere. Is it possible? That is my question. Are you understanding my question? I am having some inductor. Can I connect directly to the current source, or otherwise in the opposite manner I will ask? Okay, again similarly in the opposite manner, like if I have a capacitor, can I connect directly to the voltage source? Directly.
No, sir.
Okay, see what is happening as per the KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law. If you connect directly, then same voltage will appear here within no time. If you connect like this, same voltage will appear within no time. Is it possible? Practically, is it possible? Not possible. So what is happening actually? See, when you are putting charger to your mobile, okay, it is like a capacitor. Current is flowing actually. Some current like a 0.2 ampere or 1 ampere current will be flowing. Some current will be flowing. But slowly the voltage is getting developed. Slowly. First current, you are providing the current. Slowly the voltage is getting developed. Okay, see, this is the case of capacitor. In capacitor, what is happening? You can provide any amount of current, no issue. But you cannot connect directly voltage. You cannot provide direct voltage. Okay, because again that will destroy the KVL law. Similarly, in case of inductor also, you can apply any voltage, but you cannot give directly current to the inductor. Okay, you cannot give directly current to the inductor, because what is happening? Previously current here is 0, suddenly 2 ampere comes. Okay, it's violating the Kirchhoff current law. Then you can think that then that 2 ampere can flow here. Then why can't this 2 ampere to flow in this direction? That question arises. Okay, it will not flow because this current, okay, you are applying some current that has to produce the flux. Okay, that has to produce the flux. That will take some time, because initially you applied 0 current, 0 ampere, okay, 0 flux. Now you applied 2 ampere, then you expect some flux because current is there, flux has to be there. But this is not the instantaneous process. It will take some time. Okay, the current will take some time to produce the flux. Current will take some time to produce the flux. That's why suddenly you cannot change the current through the inductor. The current across the inductor, okay, cannot change suddenly. The current, see what is the idea here now? The current across the inductor cannot change suddenly, because current across inductor cannot change suddenly. Why it cannot change suddenly? Because If current is there, it will produce the flux. If you change the current, flux has to be changed instantaneously. But the flux will not change instantaneously. It is a slow process only. Flux will change slowly. You can change the current because current is in your control, but flux is not in your control. Flux is in the control of what? Inductor. Slowly only it will change the flux. That's why, so you should not change the current instantaneously. Okay, you should not. That is what is this statement is telling? Current across the inductor cannot change suddenly. That means what? Voltage can change, but voltage can change. Voltage can change. Okay, the same statement will be applied in the opposite manner to the capacitor. Okay, what is the idea? Voltage across the capacitor cannot change suddenly, but the current across the capacitor can change suddenly. Current across the capacitor can change suddenly. Okay, so now இந்த ஐடியா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஞாபகம் வச்சுங்க. அகைன் டிரான்சியன்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கு, அங்கேயும் பார்ப்போம். அதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, இதெல்லாம் கரெக்டா இருக்கா என்னன்னு. ஓகே, தென் இஃப் யூ ஹேவ் எ இண்டக்டர், you are applying voltage, then you are applying the current. Okay, current is there, voltage is there, inductance value L is there. Now which one you apply first? Okay, as per this concept, you cannot suddenly apply the current. So which one you apply the first? You will apply the voltage first. You will apply the voltage, then slowly it will develop some current, then based on that it will produce the flux. Okay, that means what? In inductor, what is leading? Okay, because you cannot apply the current directly, because if zero current is there, suddenly you cannot apply. But voltage you can apply. But once if you apply the voltage, corresponding current will be produced after some time. Corresponding current will be produced after some time. Okay, that's why in case of inductor, voltage will lead the current. Okay, once if you apply the voltage now, after few seconds only the current will be developed. Okay, so in case of inductor, voltage leads the current. Voltage leads the current. Okay, there are different way to realize this. In case of inductor, voltage leads the current. Mostly you will be getting this question. I'll give you one simple shortcut. Remember VLSI in that left out. Yes, then VLI you remember. Okay, in inductor, voltage always leads, current always lags. Okay, in inductor, voltage always leads, then current always lags. Then exactly in the next class we'll see how the voltage is leading, how the current is lagging, by what amount of time it is lagging or leading. Then we'll see exactly with some example. Okay, so and again, what is the J part? Whenever inductor is there, we will use plus J. Whenever capacitor is there, we'll use minus J. Then what is that significance of plus J and minus J in reality? That also we'll see with some one example in the next class. Now we'll close with this. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Inductor, capacitor, doubt, definitely you will have doubt. If you have any doubt in inductor and capacitor, you can ask now.